Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of That Which Binds Us. Today, Jack and I are going to do a special episode where we do a Hot Ones Q&A. We each have 10 hot wings, all with ascending order of spiciness, and we will each alternate asking each other questions for a total of 20 questions, and we'll see how far we get today. Jack, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm really hungry. I didn't eat lunch just for this because I have 10 pieces of chicken right next to me. I hope they're filling, and I hope that I don't hate it so much that it doesn't actually, fill me up for lunch. I also brought I have water and beer and White Claw and another jug of water just in case. I have no idea how spicy this is going to be, so I'm kind of anticipating it ruining the rest of my day.
Yeah. I brought some orange juice. I brought
Is that what your research
milk.
showed? George said he did
milk.
research.
Yeah.
There's no way orange juice was in the research.
Something about the acidity.
Okay, I guess acid and acid, maybe that cancels each other out, but that feels miserable to me.
It is funny that we're both on complete opposite sides of the spectrum. You have alcohol, and then I have dairy and acidity.
Yeah. Well, I know water probably isn't going to help. I know they say that water doesn't normally help, but
Right.
I think I just am going to want some water. I didn't do milk, and I might regret that, and I may have to sprint out and go get some milk. But, for now, let's just see if my White Claw and Blue Moon do the trick.
We'll see. How is your overall tolerance to spiciness?
Getting better. I've started, it was like a year or two ago, I was really annoyed that I just couldn't handle spicy stuff. So I started buying hot sauces or getting spicy hot sauce to put on sandwiches and stuff. So I've tried to increase my spicy intake, and now I don't really eat eggs without Cholula on it, or I'll put Cholula on everything. And Cholula's not spicy. It's it is spicy, but it's not I don't think it's going to be as bad as really any of these. But by doing that and by increasingly adding my hot sauce, I think I will be good up until 6 or 7 point.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What about you?
It's funny. I'm the same way. I haven't been using Cholula lately, but I have been trying to increase my spicy tolerance. And I've been using, what's that red sauce? Sriracha sauce. I've been using sriracha sauce more on, guess what food? Eggs. That's what I've been doing too. So
eggs and hot sauce.
Yep. That's the move.
Well, I do think it sounds like we've both been prepping. We've both been preparing our minds, bodies, and souls for this moment. And we have also, we've each came up with a bunch of questions to ask each other. So I'm excited to get personal.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you have to say about some really deep, dark, and heavy things. I'm kidding. They're not that dark.
Okay. Well, great. Should we go ahead and jump in?
Let's jump in.
Okay. Wing number 1.
Yeah. I'm so glad you had me on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Jack. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, thanks. I've been watching the show for a long time.
This one is 607 Scovilles.
And it's good.
Good?
It's it's pretty tasty.
Okay. All right, well, my first one's a bit lighter. Here's my question to you. So, Jack, you and I have been brothers and best friends for 24 years. These 24 years don't necessarily make our relationship unique, but they do make our relationship special. How would you summarize what makes our relationship special?
Okay. When I think about our relationship, I think about it in reference to the relationships I've been around. And I don't know any siblings who have as tight of a bond as us. And also with how separated in age we were and yet still close. We're 4 years apart. So growing up, we just had really different childhoods, really different friend groups, but still somehow managed to be best friends when you were 6th grade and I was a freshman in high school, and we were still really close. So that feels special to me. Somehow we've always found a bond or a shared experience, even in our differences in those moments. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen any other sibling relationship that feels that tight through like 24 years, like you said.
Yeah, the age difference,
Yeah.
I think played in our favor a lot, because I was so like hungry for an older brother who was just down to like take me along to all the activities that
Right.
you were a part of, and you were always so willing to just let me be included in whatever you and your friends who were older than me were doing. And so it was cool that you had that approach to a younger brother and didn't think I was lame and an annoying
Yeah.
little brother, which a lot of sibling dynamics have. So I think that, yeah, really played in our favor.
What summarizes our relationship, like if am going to summarize our relationship, it's more about like,
Please do. That was my question.
well, I can't, you'd have to ask my friends. And like, you'd have to ask my friends because they'd all be like, oh, George is Jack's best friend. Because Jack just talks about George all the time. Like, so I don't know if I can really articulate it other than to be like, I don't know. I just like, I talk about you all the time. So that means you're my best friend. So that's all I've got. You know, it's like, I don't know. If you want a real answer, ask my friends because they know that more than I think I'm even able to say.
So like, how often would you say you talk about me?
Don't get a big head about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh shit. I mean, that's not a neutral sauce. Like,
I know it had some kick.
it has a little bit of bite to
That
it.
I would say is as spicy as Cholula.
I would
That's
agree.
the spice. So I'm a little now more nervous because I am getting a bead of sweat on my forehead.
Yeah, you're now treading in the ocean. You were in just
Yeah.
a kiddie pool.
Right, and now I've got 9 more to go.
Okay.
All right, George. Here's your question. About 3 years ago, you were living with my now ex-wife and me, and when we decided it's time for you to move out on your own, you decided you were going to live out of your car for a few months. Can you walk me through your decision to do that? And what were some of your regrets about that? And what were some of your positive takeaways from that?
Yeah, so the inspiration for it was kind of what you'd expect. Like, I had kind of romanticized it my entire life growing up. Something like that, where I'm living in my car and have, not very many possessions, and I'm just living in my car. I'm free to go wherever I want. That like freedom piece was really appealing to me. Yeah, I was really glad that I did it. And yeah, like some of the pieces I really loved were like where I was parking my car was at my friend's house, and they had a bunch of property in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. So I got to just park on this like giant slab of concrete that on this barn that they had. So it's completely like alone, and I got to just like kind of open my sunroof, and whenever I was going to bed, I'd get to just like look at the stars like every night, and that was like a part of it that I loved, and wasn't expecting to love that much. So yeah, looking at the stars every night was awesome, especially in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, where there's no light pollution. And then some of the downsides were that I wasn't, tethered to a certain place. I didn't have a place that was like my home, because the way I structured my car was only for sleeping. It wasn't for living, and it didn't have like a living room, obviously. During the weekends when I just like going home was always a little weird and uncomfortable. I was also in college at the time, so I was spending a ton of time on campus at Wichita State.
Yeah.
Like that's where I was living pretty much. And I think the piece that I like took away from it a lot was like, I think there's a lot of self-confidence I have now around when like, say like shit hits the fan in my life. Now I know that at any point in my life, I can just go live in my car. If like everything goes to shit and I'm out of money completely, I know I can always go live in my car and catch my breath. And I now know I have that within me.
The backup plan is always there because you've done it once.
So like, yeah. And then like some of the regrets I have about it, well, I don't regret anything about it, but if I were going to do it now, I would invest a little more money into making my car more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
I got both ends of Kansas weather, where I started in about August and finished in about December. So I got all the warmth of the summer. I had like a month of that, and then I got the like freezing cold of the winter. So both of those periods were a little uncomfortable. Because the summers it was like getting up to 90 to 100, and I would have to open my windows and not use any blankets, and I didn't have a fan. And then the winters, like I had like a 10-degree sleeping bag. I was wearing gloves, a hat, layers on layers in my sleeping bag. I would always wake up with like my nose just like fucking cold and frozen. So I think I would have invested more to make it comfortable living in my car. I would have invested more money.
But then you probably would have stayed in your car longer.
That's true. Yeah. I've always just idealized a minimalist lifestyle. Right. And that was me indulging in that. So I look back on it fondly, but there's a lot I would do differently if I were going to do it now.
What's the Scoville on this one?
Scovilles, we're looking at 1,240 Scovilles. Oh, you like one-throated that massive piece of chicken.
Bro, I'm hungry.
All right, here's my question for you. This is
It is spicier.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Okay, here's my it's a would you rather question, my second question for you.
Okay.
All right, so you have a little dog named Lucy. Mm-hmm. Would you rather you and Lucy swap voices, and now you bark and whine like a dog, and she now talks like you, like a human? Or would you rather swap fur with her, and you now have all of her fur like a dog, and she now has hair everywhere you do? So she has it on her head and a beard and some body hair there and here and there.
No, so she's totally naked.
She's totally naked, but has a little bit of body hair on her. What would you prefer?
I think I choose the hair. She's got a great mane. I keep her well kept. She looks nice. I think I would look good with her hair, and I talk too much that it would kill me to bark like that. So I think that's what I would say.
Okay. Follow up. Would you get your haircuts at a barber or at a dog groomer?
Dog groomer.
I'd
make him get every inch.
So you would be right next to like
hands
some
and
poodle
knees.
Getting a haircut.
I'd stand up on the table, hands and knees, dick out,
balls dangling.
Make him go. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Okay, I think that's the right answer.
Okay, good. All right, now you got to eat the second wing because
right.
it's yeah.
Okay, that's a little hot.
Yeah, it's not nothing. All right, here's my question. You were the starting quarterback of your 8th grade football team. Is that true?
Yes.
Now, everybody has a memory of sports when they were a kid. What is your quintessential, like your Sports Center top 10 play? Just give me the play-by-play real quick.
So on offense, I didn't really have much of a role. I was actually the backup QB.
So I thought you were the starter. You were the starting quarterback of your 8th grade football team. Is that true?
Yes.
No.
But on defense, I was a safety. Yeah. So one of the games we had towards the end of the season where we were trying to maintain our undefeated record, I think it was the second to third last game of the season. The team we were playing was down maybe a touchdown. And on their last drive to go score that touchdown with a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter, I was playing safety. They tried to throw a deep one on me.
Don't throw it to him. Don't throw it to George.
Don't throw it my way. So they tried to throw it. I think it was the receiver was on the inside, kind of in the slot, and was running a like 20-yard and then corner towards the sideline. And I took a gamble. I was kind of in front of the receiver. I mean, if the quarterback was really good, this 15-year-old was really good, he would have thrown it back shoulder and probably beat me. But I bit a little bit, and I kind of jumped the corner, and I got my hand up there, got my big old paw on the ball, and I couldn't quite bring it down, Odell style, but I swatted it down to the grass.
It's not even an interception.
Jack, I quit playing football after 8th grade. It wasn't
That's
that
a
good.
great play. That's a great play. Don't let me yuck your yum. 8th grade George made a great play on the ball, and he should feel proud of it.
Yeah, I remember the way the ball felt in my hand too. I
That's a good
remember
feeling.
I almost like volleyball spiked it, the way I sent it down to the grass.
That's great, D.
Thank you.
Great, D.
Thank you. Now, if you want to talk about my basketball highlights, we can go there.
We'll
We
get
can
there.
go
I have a question about your basketball highlights. I
Okay,
do.
All right. Great. Okay, ready for your wing number 3. The heat's going up. This one's 1,240 Scovilles. I think I read the other one wrong. Oh, no, they're both 1,240.
Here's him. That one wasn't nearly as bad.
Oh, shit, okay. If you had 2 years to commit 100% of your time to training for basketball, could you make it to the NBA?
Don't make me do this.
You have 2 years, and all of your time and effort, you get to commit to training for
All
basketball.
the money in the world. I have everything.
Yeah,
I need.
you have the best doctors, the best fitness trainers. You get all the resources you need to train to make it to the NBA. Can you do it?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
I think I
He's
could.
on record.
I think I could. I think you give me. I'm working 10 hours a day because I'm waking up early and I'm going to bed late.
Okay.
I'm watching film. Nobody else is doing it like me. No one else has the time to do it like me, or the commitment, or the energy. Sorry, I'm pouring more water because I'm on wing 3 and I'm struggling. No one else is doing it like me. You know what I mean? No one else is in the gym every day, working their ass off with the best trainers in the world, the best coaches in the world. I'm draining threes. I sign with a team and I get 0 minutes, but I am the 13th man on the worst team in the NBA.
Wow.
I think I do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to move on, but I think you're delusional. And I think that basketball comes down to a lot more raw skill and talent and human bodies than I think you give it credit.
Everything that you just said is something I not only have and attain, but am willing to sharpen like a hot iron.
Wow. Okay. Feel free to rail him in the comments, everyone.
Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
George, we talked about your 8th grade highlights for football, but now let's talk about your 8th grade lowlights for basketball. What is the worst moment that has ever happened to you on the basketball court in middle school? Also, give me a review of that wing.
Yeah, I agree. Not that spicy. Number
It's
4.
a late
not that
bloomer,
spicy.
though. It's a late bloomer. It got to me. It got to me later.
Shit. Okay.
I'm actually going to crack open my Blue Moon now. So
Okay. I'm gonna have a little swig of whole milk dairy.
Ooh, that beer's nice.
Okay. Lowlights. This one's
8th grade
obvious. In 8th grade in basketball, I was on our middle school basketball team. We had a small private school that we played for, and I was one of the better players on our team.
You were the best player in your team. You're allowed to say it.
Okay. I was the best player on our team. And we were playing a team that was maybe a little bit better than us, but pretty similar skill level. And we were in a really bad position. We were down 1, and they were shooting free throws, and there was like 3 seconds on the clock. So they're shooting free throws. It's a 1-and-1 because we fouled them. But there's like there's not even 3 seconds. There's like a second or 2. So there's not enough time to dribble down and shoot a realistic shot. So they missed their first free throw. Ryan Brickley gets the rebound.
Ooh,
Shout
friend
out
of the
Ryan
pod.
Brickley.
Friend of the pod.
Yep. Big man down low gets the board. Passes it to me. And I'm at like 3/4 of the court. I'm past
Yeah,
half
you're at
court.
your
I'm-
own 3-point
Right.
line. Like
So
you got to.
I send the Hail Mary heave toward the goal, hoping it goes in. But the guy on the other team clobbers me for no reason. He just
Tried to
like,
block your shot.
yeah. So the referee does something crazy and gives me 3 free throws.
I've never seen this call in my life. You get 3 free throws on a full court heave. Insane. Down 1.
And this isn't like a heave, like I'm jumping and I look like a normal shot. I put it at my waist as an
Yeah.
8th grader, and I slingshot it.
Yeah.
So he gives me 3 free throws, and we're down 1, and there's like 0.7 seconds left on the clock, so there's no time left really. So all I have to do is nail one of these free throws. So I go up to the line, and I'm like, damn, okay, we can win this. I just have to nail one of these. So I get the ball. I go through my normally shooting motion. I'm kind of in normal flow state. I'm just feeling good.
Yeah.
And I shoot, and it hits the front of the rim, hits the backboard, rolls off the front of the rim. Like, it just was a normal missed free throw. But then the reality of the situation sunk in. And I realized that not only did I have to make 1 free throw to tie the game, I had to make both just to win. I had to make both. And before I had 3 free throws, now I only have 2. And oh my God, I was physically kind of starting to shake. It was,
And I think we all were too. I think there was like an energy of like, that's so much pressure.
yeah.
And like, everybody on the bench is like, no pressure. You're good. Like, don't worry about it. But everybody in their head's like, this is so much pressure. You can't miss all of these.
So then the second one, I'm starting to shake, and I shoot it, and it's not very close. I think it's like a little left and goes off the left rim. And I remember being very emotive during all of this. And I remember both of them like raising my hands and slapping the court with both hands. Because like I was so pissed that I missed another
you were
free
just
throw.
so mad.
Because now we couldn't win. I had missed that free throw, so we couldn't
Now
even win.
you're shooting for a tie. You're shooting to take it to overtime.
To send it to
You're coming
overtime.
from behind at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember getting the ball for my 3rd free throw, and through teary, foggy eyes, as I'm crumbling in front of hundreds of people,
Dozens of them.
dozens and dozens
Parents
of people,
and parents.
adults on adults on adults, and I'm through foggy eyes. I shoot the 3rd free throw with no hope.
You've already given up. You're walking off the court. You throw it and you turn around.
And it's I think it just hits the front of the rim like I was short. And I had 0.7 seconds, and I was able to get my hands on the rebound and throw it up again at the rim.
So you had
and
four
it was a-
four shots on 4 shots, 5 if you count the heave. You have to
5
make
if you
one.
count the heave. Never before seen.
technically-
He misses 5 shots in 3
you went
seconds.
0 for 5 in 3 seconds.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that was miserable. That was by far the biggest low light of my basketball career.
I was really hoping that was the one you would tell, because that's like
Yep.
infamous in our lives. Like everybody remembers that, and everybody kind of remembers it in a way that's like, do we talk about it?
Right,
That was
like
so sad.
no one wants to be in that position as a 13-year-old. But yeah, I missed all 3 free throws and only needed to make 1 to send it to overtime.
Absolute nightmare. Well, thanks
Nightmare.
for telling that story.
Of course. All right, are you ready for question number 4?
Yes, I'm getting worried. I'm starting
Okay.
to worry about these wings.
Yeah,
There's a lot of sauce. Like, look how drippy these wings are. Like, these are,
that's not the spiciness though. That's just
but there's just a lot.
how saucy you made your wing.
It's also funny that we keep calling them wings when I got chicken strips out of my freezer and I heat them up in my microwave.
I did the same thing. I had frozen chicken strips from Trader Joe's.
But we can keep calling them wings. That makes me feel
Okay.
better. All right, hit me with that next cue.
So, Jack, you and I grew up in a community that was not necessarily inclusive to the LGBTQ community and really actively opposed them. So, later in your life, you were able to discover and accept your own bisexuality. What advice would you give to someone living in a community that is not in a supportive of their non-heterosexual identity? What advice would you give to someone experiencing that?
Wow. Thank you for asking me that. Mm-hmm. I feel like, something I've struggled with a lot in my own story is like, am I even allowed to say I'm bisexual because I've like not like been with a man. So like, I'm still on my own journey of accepting that myself. Like it's hard. So I feeling like any advice I'm going to give, I also need to take. So hear this that way, that what I'm saying, I'm also bad at, and it's okay to be bad at this. It's okay to feel like you don't have it figured out, because you won't. And there's just an energy in that environment that is constantly
In the like
out.
not inclusive environment.
Yes. Thank you. There's an energy in a Christian conservative environment that seeks to invalidate people's experience that is outside of the norm. And that works. It just does. That's how they control people. That's how they get people to stay. That's how they get people to do what they want you to do, because they tell you it's not valid for you to be attracted to men, or for you to be attracted to women, or for you to not feel like your gender identity is congruent with what you were assigned at birth. They would say, well, yeah, that's silly. That's crazy. That's wrong. And like, I objectively disagree with that. I'm like, oh, in my head, of course that's wrong. It is valid that I'm bisexual. But it does so much more damage internally to how I see myself, where I'm still constantly struggling with, is it valid? But is it legit? Or do I want attention? Or am I just, whatever. So my advice to you, if you're listening to this and you think you might just be different in some way, whether that's gay, whether that's bi, whether that's trans, like, even if it's none of those things, and it's like you just want to do musicals, but you're an athlete. If it's any of those, like, the reality is nobody gets to decide for you what's true. And it's hard to come to this conclusion, but you just have to trust yourself. If you feel that way, that is true. No one gets to tell you that that's not true. So that's my advice, it's hard to understand it, and it's hard to believe yourself when you've grown up in that environment, but it is true, and you can believe it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that answer.
Thank you. Thanks for asking that. I've never thought of myself as able to be able to speak on that, because I've just kind of always been outwardly straight my whole life. So thank you for giving me the opportunity for that. That made me feel pretty special to talk about. Well, George, eat the fourth wing and let me know what you think.
All right. Not that intense.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of pussy shit.
Yeah. A total pussy shit.
I'm going to get more vulgar the more spicy these wings get. I'm going to get more vulgar.
And I think you should. I think that would be correct. Okay. George, you recently moved to Portland, Oregon. And I've been to Portland a few times with you, and I've seen some wild shit, but you've lived there. What's the wildest thing you've ever seen in Portland?
Have you heard of the dance parties that people have where they're silent dance parties?
Yes. Like a silent disco?
Yes, like a silent disco. At this park called Laurelhurst Park, almost every week I'm there. There are silent dance parties going on with like an actual DJ who is DJing it up. And if you don't know what a silent dance party is, it's where everyone has headphones on, and they're all listening to the music that the DJ is creating, but no one can hear anything because there's no speakers. Bless you. And I was... And so they have these silent dance parties at this park a lot. And I honestly love just people watching during them, because they're just really silly. You can tell like some people there are veterans, and they've been going to these silent dance parties all the time. They're totally in the moment and dancing around. But then some people you can tell are kind of new to it, and they're kind of like standing there awkwardly, like you would see on an actual dance floor at a club.
Do you ever take your headphones off just to like witness it in its silence and awkwardness?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've never participated.
Oh, you've never actually done it?
No, I'm at the park walking a lot, and I love what it illustrates about Portland. I know these dance parties aren't unique to Portland, right, but I love a feature of Portland that I like that it illustrates, which is like everyone there at this park feels free to express themselves, even though they might look a little silly. And I love the other feature of Portland, which is let's just like enjoy nature and not have loud booming speakers that are distracting everyone else's experience. That's just the first time I had seen silent dance parties, and they're going on outside at a park. So I thought that was pretty silly and fun. All right, fifth wing, you gonna munch it up? Ooh, this is a good one. Jack, what in your mind is the biggest fight you and I have ever got into in our entire lives?
I already know it.
You already know our biggest fight?
That's spicy.
Oh.
That's spicy. That changed the game.
Oh my God, this one's 7,900 Scovilles.
I don't like that at all. I don't like how that makes me feel. That's number 5.
Yeah, that's number 5.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, what in your mind, Jack, in the 24 years you and I have been brothers, what is the biggest fight you and I have ever gotten into?
And I will answer this. George, that was number 5.
I'm glad you're trying number 5 first. I think I'm going to be taking smaller bites from you right now.
All right. Worst fight. I have a tear. Okay.
It does look like the reality is set in for you a little bit. You're coming to terms with the fact that that's only number 5.
We've decided to do this, and we're halfway through, and I'm fully crying. Okay. I remember, I don't know what I had done. I just remember it was the first time feeling so guilty for being mean to you.
How old were you?
I was probably 8th grade. You were probably 4th grade.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember what we did. I don't remember what happened. I think we were maybe playing a game and I was roughhousing. I think I was probably roughhousing with you, and I used my size against you in a way that was unfair and cruel. And I think I just remember specifically you crying and it not mattering to me that you were crying. And then you looked at me and you said, "You're the worst brother in the world." Ooh. And then you went off crying and you found one of your trees and you sat in a tree for a couple hours.
Wow.
And I went to my room and thought about that. I was like, I am a bad brother. I'm being mean to him for no reason. So in my growing up, I was also mistreated by some siblings in a way that was really affected me. And it hit me when I did that to you. I was like, I didn't understand generational trauma, but I think in that moment I kind of did. I was like, I'm passing down what was given to me to George. I don't have to be a bad brother to him. I don't have to be mean to him just because other brothers were mean to me. So honestly, I do think that changed everything for me. That was the moment I was like, I'm going to be a better brother to George. I want to be friends with George. I don't want to be mean to him just to be mean. And it was because you said, "You're the worst brother in the world." And it hit me. I think you meant it. And I think I was a bad brother to you. I have no idea what happened. I don't know what happened before that, but I just remember those words.
Wow.
All right. I need you to talk, though, so you've got to eat your wing. And also, I feel like you have to eat the full thing. Because if you can't
sure
call the last wing pussy shit and then say, "I'm going to eat a smaller bite because I'm scaled."
All right, here we go.
Ooh, licking the fingers, too. He wants it all.
I'm ready for you.
Oh, it's not even spicy. You don't have spicy about it? All right.
Nope.
All right.
No,
so
sir.
I remember the first time you ever asked a girl out. Do you remember the first time you ever asked a girl out? Now, there's difference. There's a difference because one was Abby, who you're currently dating. You guys dated. I'm seeing the tears. You guys dated throughout high school, but I remember in college you saw this girl and you were like, "I think I'm going to ask her out." Can you tell me the story of you asking her out and what that experience was? And what advice do you have for somebody in their 20s who's single and doesn't know what to do? And you just kind of nutted up and asked this girl out. And I want to hear the story.
Wow, this is a spicy wing. and I apologize for referring to the previous one as pussy shit. I think this is revenge.
He's already sending out apologies. He can't handle it.
Okay. It's okay. Just a little bit of discomfort. Okay, here we go. So asking women out. I mean, guys, I've got a lot of great advice on how to get women. A lot of great. Wow.
Wait, don't rub your eyes.
Oh God, you're right. Okay, I want to because I'm crying.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when it comes to asking girls out, so this one example I remember, I was with a friend at Panda Express, only the most authentic Asian cuisine on this side of the Mississippi.
Right. Yep, and I stand on that.
And I stand on that. And I was there, and I was wearing my favorite sweater, so I was feeling really confident about life.
Yourself? All right.
Yeah, and the lovely lady who was checking me out in the Panda Express aisle,
Yeah, she was.
complimented my sweater as she was ringing up the transaction. And you know that meme about how like women don't compliment men because men take that and run with it? I don't know if it's a meme or just like a truth about society. But in this scenario, that played out exactly how you would expect, where she complimented me. And I was like, oh shit, like she is a cute girl. And I think she would be interested if I were to ask her out because she complimented my sweater that I love so much. I think I could ask her out. So I, after I rung up the transaction, I was just like, so would you be interested in getting coffee sometime? And she was like, yeah, that would sound really nice. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, could I get your number? And she was like, yeah, of course.
Bro.
And there was, some ums and uhs and some awkward 19-year-old energy in between some of that. But that was really all I did. I did the coffee request. Do you want to get coffee? And I felt after she said yes, and after we were done having dinner, like I was on cloud nine. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was texting my roommate at the time. I'm sure I texted you.
You did.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it felt incredible. I felt like I was limitless. So yeah, I mean, I think as long as you're not creepy, like asking a girl out for coffee is not a bad thing to do. The worst they can say is no. And your job is to still be normal after that and just still be their friend.
Yes. Good. Great advice. Still be normal.
Yeah. Number 6, hottest wing.
I'm getting a sinus headache. But we will overcome.
Okay, number 6. My question for you, Jack, as you're chewing on the 6th hottest wing we have. In the year 2021, you released an album on Spotify titled Good Enough. What song from this album are you most proud of?
There are a few that I like. There are a few that I don't really like that much anymore. They're fine. They're all fine. I'm actually pretty proud of all of them. Lyrically and musically and personally, there's a song called I and My Body. Fucking shit, that's spicy.
How's number
bro.
6? How
That's
spicy is she?
Spicy. It's a late bloomer.
Whew.
Jesus. Okay.
Hotter
so-
than number 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a late bloomer, though. It comes late.
Ooh.
So I thought I was fine, and it kind of caught me off guard. So I and My Body is about me trying to connect back in with who I am and what my body is capable of. And the lyrics are really meaningful to me, and it's just a love letter to myself, and it's a love letter to my body, and it's a love letter to my childhood self who wasn't taught the skills to trust himself and to trust that he was good. The song The Suburbs on that album. Oh my God.
I can't imagine that beer is calming the spice down at all.
The beer sucks so bad.
It got worse for you. You took a sip and then had a visceral reaction.
Right. The Suburbs is a song I wrote about my parents and the complex relationship I have with them, as well as the idea of nostalgia, because I kind of felt like nostalgia was sometimes weaponized. And it was like, remember how good things were? And when I actually thought about it, things weren't that good. So that was like a song to that. It was like, no, things weren't that good. Things weren't great in the suburbs. So that was really personal. An underrated song that I just really like and I'm proud that I wrote is That Blonde Girl. It's just really dynamic and interesting in the way I wrote it. And I love the lyrics, and I think it's really fun and cute, and I still think it's a bop, and I bop to it every time I hear it. All right, you've got to eat your wing.
You were a real trooper on that one, Jack.
Thanks.
A real trooper.
Thanks. I do think these questions and answers are going to get so much faster because talking hurts, man.
Talking hurts. Okay, well, I'm going in for number 6.
Right.
You made it look very painful, so I'm not looking forward to
and
this.
maybe I'm a pussy. Maybe I'm pussy.
Maybe me pussy.
Maybe me pussy. But, who knows?
Well, great answer.
Okay, so George, video games. Oops. Excuse me. Video games have been a pretty major part of your life since I can remember, but especially when you graduated and went out on your own, you did. You kind of went full-fledged into some video game spheres. Tell me about your most quintessential video game experience that you've ever had.
So yeah, my favorite video game of all time is Super Smash Bros. And it has, both sides of it that I love, which is that casually I enjoyed it playing growing up with my brothers and friends, but also competitively I have dove into that sphere, and I've really loved the nuances and intricacies of competitive Super Smash Bros. And I think what I love most about Super Smash Bros. Is that it does the best of any video game I've ever played at offering me the tools to freely express myself through the character I'm playing as, through the move set that I have with that character. So for example, if I'm feeling, confident in a match, I might, throw out a Falcon Punch.
Get a little more risky. And I can do that. If I'm feeling a little bit more nervous, I might choose defensive options more often, like using my shield or rolling away from my opponent. Or if I'm playing as Samus, I might sit in the corner and charge my charge shot and stay away from the action as much as possible. So if I'm feeling, nervous, that gets shown through how I'm playing. If I'm feeling cocky and I want to showboat a bit, I can click the taunt button on my controller. There's literally a button for taunting if I want to do that. So I don't know. Those are just some examples of emotions that I feel while competing during any sport or video game. And I feel like Smash gives me the tools to do that in a really fun and interesting way, both as a player, but also as a spectator. So when I'm watching Smash, I can watch the story unfold between the two players, and pick up on who might be feeling more confident and who might be feeling nervous just based on what's happening during the match. So that's an element of Smash that I really love. Also, and this is a little more in the weeds on fighting games as video games in the fighting genre, but it's a non-traditional fighting game where traditional fighting games are Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Injustice. Those games where there's two players fighting and they're on a just flat area and it's 2D, and you just have health bars at the top and all you're doing is just hitting each other till one of you runs out of health. Smash is a fighting game, but it's a platform fighting game. So what that does is give you a way bigger stage to work with, and you're not as restricted movement wise as you are in a traditional fighter like Mortal Kombat or something. So in Smash, you can double jump. Some characters have the ability to float, like Kirby and Jigglypuff. And the stages are just way bigger. So there's just so much more freedom of movement
as opposed to traditional fighters that can feel kind of like constrictive and a little sticky when you're trying to play as the character. But Smash, it's just like so free flowing and like dynamic. I love it. So yeah, I'm fully in the weeds on Super Smash Bros.
I love that. We need to do an entire episode where you can just talk about Smash, because that's so interesting to me to listen to you talk about all of that like dynamic stuff about Smash. Like you just get it on a level that I think is really interesting, and I think maybe we could find two other people that would be also interested in that episode. But I think that'd be a really fun one to do.
I would love that. Yeah, I could talk about it for hours. It's
Great.
It's incredible.
Let's do it. Well, real quick, I feel like that wing didn't hit you at all. Like you nailed that answer, and I was sobbing.
I don't know why that wing didn't hit me very much. It was spicy, but it just maintained what the previous wing did for me.
Okay.
I felt like I sauced it up properly, but it didn't extend what I already
No, you
had.
should feel proud. You should feel proud.
Okay.
We are down to the last two wings, though.
All right.
Which is why I think this is getting, I mean, it's just ramped up. So these last two are the real deal, I think.
Okay, are you going to eat your 9th wing?
Yeah, I am.
That is what we're doing here.
It's
we are
so
eating
red.
spicy
Did you
hot
notice
wings.
how red the number 9 spicy one is?
It is very red.
It's so red. It looks scary red. It looks like angry at me. Well, just like I've done with every other one, I'm gonna put the whole thing in my mouth. I think I could throw up. There's a non-zero chance I throw up.
From
So,
spiciness or from the sheer amount of chicken you've
I
consumed?
think I've just eaten a lot of chicken, and I've drank maybe a gallon of water. I've not stopped drinking water. All right.
Okay, great job on that 9th wing. You look like everything's under control. So I'll go ahead and ask you a question. All right, Jack. If you got to go back in time, if you got to go back in time and talk to your 12-year-old self, but you only had 15 seconds to tell him whatever you could, what would you say? And the time starts now.
Sorry,
15
how old
seconds.
was he
Go.
again? How old was he?
12 years old.
Okay.
Starting now. Go. 15.
I'd give him
14.
a hug. I'd give him a really long hug. I'd give him a 13-second long hug. And then I would say, I love you a lot. And you're going to be
5.
really cool. And I'm really proud of you. And I love you a lot. I love you so
Time.
much.
You looked like you were holding your breath that entire time, the way your body reacted to how spicy that was.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, I think your 12-year-old self, like, I don't even think he realizes what you just did. You pushed through that spiciness just to give him that incredible advice. So that was great.
And honestly, now I'm going to go back in time and ask him, if you're going to talk to your 28-year-old self and he's really fucked up on spicy wings, what would you tell him? And I hope he would also hug me and tell me that he loves me, because that's what I need right now.
You need your 12-year-old self to hug you?
I need a 12-year-old hug from me.
From you.
Yeah.
You don't look comfortable right now.
Oh, my God. I'm bad. I'm bad, and I'm bad.
We got tears. We got burps.
Yeah. We got a trash can for throw up.
Oh, geez.
All right.
How
You
close
eat
to
your ring?
vomit are you?
8 out of 10.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yep.
Let's turn up for this last bit.
turn up.
With each cough, I'm not sure if you're going to vomit.
Same. Every cough is a gamble. All right. Eat your wing.
Okay. This is
Number
9.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Going in. Ay, 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 ay. I put that whole thing in my mouth. That whole thing.
How do you feel? Yeah, you feel bad? Yeah?
I don't feel good.
Say it's pussy shit out loud.
Okay. Now that it's had time to settle, that wing's pussy shit.
And I agree, too. And you and I are on the same page.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. My dog is just going to be barking in the background, and we're just going to live with that.
Okay.
George, your question is, in high school, you fell in love with Henry David Thoreau's Walden. Talk about it. Tell me what about that book affected you so much. And I feel like that's had a pretty profound effect on you now. Can you talk to that a little bit? You have give me a 30-second spiel of that.
Oh my God, this is really hot wings.
It sounds so bad.
Okay, so the book by Henry David Thoreau, he goes and lives in a cabin. He lives in a cabin for 2 years by himself in the middle of nowhere. And I remember being really fascinated by that, mainly because I like to I often
You have 11 seconds, by the way.
spent a lot of time alone growing up, and I think what I liked about this book is that he portrayed it in a way that was feasible as a person to spend a lot of time alone and still enjoy and have a happy life. And I was like, whoa, if I can just learn how to do that, I won't need people ever again, and I can just be alone and not have to be around people. This would be crazy. But then I learned in life that I really like people and get a lot of value out of it, and I don't want to live alone like that. Even though I know how to now and I'm not scared of it anymore, but I don't want that for my life. I want more. So that's where I'm at, and that's what happened in that book to me in my life.
How you doing? You also look uncomfortable. Was it pussy shit?
No, it wasn't pussy shit.
Okay, good.
It was devilish.
It was devil shit. Okay, last wing. Oh my God.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Fuck, shit, damn hell.
My all right, this last one's called Holy Brain Killer.
My tummy hurts so bad, George.
I know. It's not good.
Should we eat it at the same time?
Oh, should we eat the last one?
Maybe we should eat it at the same time. I need a buddy.
Okay, how quickly can we end this after?
Very quickly. My question is very fast.
Okay.
God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it.
God, I feel so similarly. Okay, you go first. You eat the wing, and then I ask you a question.
Okay.
Are you going full bite?
Okay, I'm not eating the whole thing.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. I care about you as a brother and a person. All right, good job. Good eat. Okay, so Jack, you and I are historians when it comes to sports and the legacies that players leave behind. Michael Jordan's legacy is 6 championships and never lost in the finals. And LeBron James, his legacy is sustained dominance for 20 years. So my question is to you, how does this podcast affect our legacy?
We're goated. We're the goat.
We're goated?
Unquestionably, we're the goat. Yeah, I don't think any podcaster's been better than us. I think our record speaks for itself. 13 good episodes, 100 views per episode.
Damn.
I think the stats are there. We've got the stats. We've got the publicity. We've got the people in our corner. I don't think the Joe Rogans, the Conan O'Briens, I don't think they could do anything in the face of what we bring to the podcasting world. So yeah, we're the GOAT.
We're the GOAT. You heard it here first. We are the GOAT.
All right.
Great answer.
You gotta eat that wing, George.
Shit, how are you doing?
It's like I feel bad. It's not like a funny feeling.
What do you mean?
It feels alarming in a way that I want to ruin this episode by being mean to people. It's not like, God. Oh, haha, it hurts. It's like I'm mad now. It makes me upset. I'm upset and in an unfun way.
Okay, well, I'm going in.
That's just what makes me the GOAT, baby.
I'm going in. Oh, it's so saucy.
It's so saucy, bro. Okay. Do it, baby. Yeah, I believe in you. I believe in you. Yeah.
It's not even spicy yet, but I'm just so scared.
Right, and you should be. How you feeling?
Okay. Question. I'm ready.
All right, last question, George. Last question. Where do we go when we die?
All right, Jack, when we die, our bodies decay. And it's actually this beautiful thing called the circle of life. And all of the animals we ate while we were alive, they now get to eat us because we're in the dirt and are now grass for them to graze on. So to answer your question, our spirits don't go anywhere. And our bodies go into the ground. And then we get eaten by the lesser mammals that we preyed on when we were alive. And it's the circle of life. So that's my answer to you.
And there it is, everybody. 10 wings up, 10 wings down. Lots of tears. My mouth hurts worse than it maybe ever has. George, this was actually really fun, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm never going to do this again in my life.
Never?
No. I don't think so. Are you?
I think I'll forget in like a day or two and be like, that was fun.
Okay, maybe. It really affected me more than you. I think clearly and visually, I'm going through something that you just may. No, I don't know. Maybe you're going through it too.
It's a little bit, but no, that one didn't get me as much
I
as
just
it
think
got
maybe I'm pussy. I think I'm pussy. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, George, this was a great episode. This was so much fun. Everybody,
yeah, for our audio listeners, I apologize.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
I didn't throw up. So
You
that
did?
feels like a win. I didn't. I never threw up.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching / listening. This has been another episode of That Which Binds Us. Tune in next week when we won't feel like
When we just
because we're
drink
eating spicy
10
wings.
different glasses of milk.
Okay. We're signing off.
Love you guys. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. See ya. Okay.
Okay. Okay. That was fun.